Welcome back. Well, Nelson Ekujimi is of the Center for Rights and Grassroots Initiative. He joins us next to give us his perspective on the comments making the rounds about the speech by the President. Morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, and compliments of the season to you and the Nigerians.
Thank you. Well, about this comment by the President, some say, well, yes, indeed, we need that warning. We need that reminder, that caveat, if you will, how we need to also ensure that we have a peaceful elections, which some say that's what his message is intended. What do you think?
Well, thank you very much. I think we have become used to this yearly ritual by Mr. President of speaking to Nigerians on issues that are already enshrined in the Constitution. And when you look at the actions, like we say, that action speaks louder than words. The President is very good at playing with words, but when it comes to the real action, Mr. President is something else.
For example?
For example, Mr. President promised that he will provide a level playing ground for elections for the 2015 general elections, and
that hasn't come, and he
said he's promising that, but our mind goes back to his antecedents, where the president will be in office and you allow his vice president to come out and tell the whole world that election in the country will be war. We witnessed situations in the Osun Ekiti governorship elections where the army took rocket launchers, where we had over 73,000 troops, where we had wounded men.
You saw the rocket?
I saw. I took pictures where you had security agents just going on the road and shooting sporadically without provocation.
Did you see the army harass?
I was harassed.
Manhandle anybody?
I was harassed. Of course, you are all witness to the fact that the security agents deported journalists.
No, I said the army, because you mentioned rocket launchers.
Some of them were wearing suits, so you wouldn't know who they were. I even had the effrontery of challenging some, but God was on my side. They just told me, man, we don't have the authority to reveal our identity to you. So it shows.
I think if I sorry to cut you, if I go through what Dr. Dogo has said, it then means that well, that was fantastic, because he said, learning from the experience of 2011, they had to step up their game. That is why we haven't witnessed any violence in subsequent elections. And I'm quite sure that's what you saw, knowing full well that, according to him, he's also a politician. Politicians need that kind of high-handedness to put them in check.
We don't need a military siege to conduct elections. Our lives, our means of livelihood, must not be disrupted or must come to an end because we are conducting elections.
It's just for a day. You protect the people, you protect lives and property.
Protecting the people does not warrant you putting on hoods. How do you differentiate between a military man or a security agent from a political thug when there's no means of identification? That is why some of us were very happy when the INEC chairman came and said they will not allow it in the next elections, because you journalists, reporters are always accredited by INEC. The observers are accredited by INEC. The parties must be approved by INEC. So we wonder why INEC must not take charge of security, so that if anything goes wrong...
INEC to take charge of security?
Yes, the security men that will be deployed for the elections must have identification tags. I'm sorry I was not here with...
Has INEC sorted out the PVC's issue, the logistics issue?
Well, that
and now you want them to take charge of security?
No, when I say they should take charge of security, I'm not saying INEC should deploy. What I'm saying is that security men on duty for elections must be identified, so that if anything goes wrong, we must know who to hold responsible.
Okay. You earlier on said the President has said time and again that he'll provide level playing field. He will not interfere with the functions or duties or responsibilities of INEC in any way. Has he run short of that? In previous elections, has he interfered with the functions of INEC?
Well, it's not in the open to us. But what we know is that the President has used his powers as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to watch abuses on election days or pre-election.
How does that happen? You use your power to watch abuses? How?
The President has the constitutional duty to guarantee the rights of all Nigerians under the Constitution. Don't forget, Malam Nasir Rufai was detained in an hotel in Anambra. I was there because the security agent said he had no right to be in Anambra State as a Nigerian, that there's a limit to where he can move to within the Nigerian territorial space, even though Mr. President is not the judiciary, because it is only the court of law.
So Mr. President gave that order?
Well, he didn't come out to condemn it. It means
then you
he supports it.
He gave the order.
It means for the president to keep quiet over that, it means the president is not faithfully implementing his oath of office, what he has sworn to. In my press release, I gave mention of the fact that the president said some people unleash violence, and this time around it will not be allowed to happen. For the president to publicly come out and admit that shows that the president is violating his oath of office.
How?
By not ordering the security agencies to go after whoever has violated the constitution, because the president swore an oath to implement or fulfill the constitutional requirements of his office, which is to guarantee the security of lives and properties of Nigeria.
I think that's where maybe you're missing it. That is why I think he's making that statement, since he's already taken an oath to protect lives and property of every Nigerian here in the country. Then he's telling anyone, as a form of reminder, that look, if you got away with it in 2011, don't forget we still have a constitution, and it will kick in should you go against that.
Please, I want to ask, was he not in office in 2011? Is he just assuming the mantle of leadership? Is he just swearing to constitutional provisions to protect the rights of Nigerians? He was in office then. He has no duty, no excuse under the law to tell us that some people did it last time, they got away with it. What tells you that the effrontery that they had to get away with it, they won't repeat it? You don't just warn them. The law is there. The problem we have with the present administration is that impunity is the order of the day. When anybody commits any crime, he gets away with it.
Let me bring in Chika's response before the next question here. It says, to ask you, has anyone been reported killed by the so-called security officials during Osun elections or even the Ekiti elections?
If I open my system, I have people that were brutalized. I had people whose right to vote was denied them by the security agencies because they were detained. I was also assaulted because I was taking photographs of voters on the queue, because I was reporting for my organization. I was an INEC accredited observer. They physically came down and threatened to smash my system, to smash my face. Even after showing them my ID card, they threatened to smash my ID card,
okay,
that there will be no trace.
Okay, but none was reported, any reports of any death about it?
I don't know of death, but I know of brutalization and violation of the rights of citizens to vote.
I'm reading your statement here because your organization did release a statement yesterday. You say that the speech is worrisome, but the remedy that you're proposing sounds also worrisome as well. You say that we want to admonish Nigerians to be bold and not be intimidated, because this is a society built on the rule of law, which is constitutionally enshrined. Is the president asking anyone not to be bold?
What we are saying is that when the president made this speech, you deduce from his statement that this man has always come up with these fine speeches time and time again.
As a president.
As a president. Yeah. But when it comes to the actuality, the reality on ground, it's far from what the president says.